In my mind, worlds collide. Something inside me is gone. Still I keep going on.
What is up, guys? TOHO here, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today, well, I didn't get a chance to upload any videos since everything's just been kind of crazy with, Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2, Episode 2, doing like the commentary, doing my my review for the episode, and then as I wrapped up watching the episode and I finished recording my review for Episode 2, Hi Toys announces their Destroya figure from the iconic film Godzilla vs. Destroya 1995. And the figure looks amazing. And in that video, I also went ahead. I mean, you guys didn't see it yet. I might include it because it could be really funny. Because in that video that I hadn't had a chance to edit or upload, because like once I saw the news, I fired up OBS and then I'm like, hey guys, what is up, guys? Look at this really cool ass Destroya figure. And while I was talking about the Destroya, I was like, well, also SH Monsterarts revealed their Odo Island -1 Godzilla figure, the pre-mutated Godzillasaurus at the beginning of -1 before he was mutated and became the more classic traditional Godzilla. And I in that video I might play it here because it's just going to be that much funnier. I might play it at the end of this, so you guys can just hear my original thoughts on it. I talked about Destroya. I talked about how awesome that figure is for $116. Before shipping and stuff. And at the time, the Odo Island Godzillasaurus, which is what I'm going to call it, just because it's easier for me. So the Odo Island Godzillasaurus was announced, but there wasn't a price tag yet. At least not that I saw right away. And I was, in that video I said there's absolutely no way this figure is going to be over $100. I think that would absolutely be ridiculous if it was $100. This thing needs to be at least $80 to $90. Even, 80 to 90 is kind of pushing it for what this figure is. So that's what I said in the video. I said there's no way this can be over $100. Well, I wish I uploaded it just so we can just see how bad that aged poorly. Because today, as I am making this, the pre-orders went live on Big Bad Toy Store. Now, before it even went live in Big Bad Toy Store, the price was revealed in yen. I don't know how to. I'm not really too sure. 12,000. What 12,000 yen is off the top of my head. I have to have like a little calculator and figure it out. But basically, that translates to on Big Bad Toy Store and possibly in a lot of other places too. This price might fluctuate, but at Big Bad Toy Store, the Odo Island Godzilla figure from -1 is $109.99. I am absolutely, you know what? I can't even say I'm blown away because I'm not fucking surprised. I am not surprised in the slightest that this thing is priced this much. And, at the time, it was really funny because I thought Steven's Toy Reviews, I thought he was all for it because he was saying like, oh, this is the most, best priced in the line thus far. Like, this is like the most budget friendly figure you can get. And I didn't realize that he was shit posting the whole time, so that's really funny too. But I just like I on one hand I really do want to be blown away. I really do just want to be absolutely just flabbergasted. Because what? On one hand, I absolutely am just beside myself that this thing is priced that high. So, I mean, what's wrong with it? I mean, it's half scale. It's half of the size of the -1 figure, and it comes with one accessory, and that is a stand. And the stand, I guess, is pretty cool. I mean, it's simple. It's just the -1 logo with like an arm to help, I guess, pose the figure. Is this figure not posable? Like, They couldn't throw anything else in there, like a plane or something from the iconic, opening of even a radio or a watchtower, not a radio tower, even a watchtower would have been really cool for this. Like, I'm $109.99. You know what that translates to? That's like over 2 weeks worth of gas. No, a month. That's over a month's worth of gas. For me at least. Like I can get a lot of gas in my car for $100 and make that last a really decent time. $109, that translates to 2 Hiya Toys figures before shipping. I can get 2 Hiya Toys. Like I can get let's see. What can I get? I can get if you go on Big Bad Toy Store, I'm pretty sure there's a sale right now for the Hiya Toys Godzilla King of the Monsters figure for $52. And you can throw in the Energizer Godzilla for about $50.99. So, with tax and shipping, that does equate to over $109.99. But, like, that's what that translates to for just this little figure that's half the size. This is not even really a premium release. And if they're calling it a premium release, if this is considered a premium release, someone needs to... That's just not realistic. How can we charge this much for this figure? This is crazy. Like, I was just kind of flabbergasted the entire day that they came up with this price tag. And I didn't really realize today, until I was on my break and I was eating my food and I was kind of looking at Destroya and I was looking at the Odo Island Godzilla figure from SH Monsterarts, and then it clicked. This little figure that's half the size of an SH Monsterarts figure, does it come with anything? All it's going to come with is an oversized box, probably, with a little window display, I guarantee it. A display stand and arm. This thing is priced at $109.99, while the Hiya Toys, the newly announced Hiya Toys, Destroya, is $116.99. So ultimately, the shipping that you're going to be paying for this Odo Island Godzilla is probably going to be the same shipping you're going to pay for Destroya. So, obviously with shipping and tax involved, Destroya is going to probably be priced a little bit more. But at the end of the day, this thing is almost as much as this badass Hiya Toys Destroya figure that was announced, which is absolutely insane to me. And you know what else is really crazy about this is that none besides Godzilla Evolved and Shimu, but basically go look at the entire GXK line. All those figures, like the Mothra and Zuko, Scar King, Godzilla pre-evolved, and Kong. All those SH Monsterarts figures, you want to say Godzilla and Kong, the 2 repaints. So Scar King, those 2 repaints, and who else? Who else am I forgetting? Mothra and Zuko. Those are priced under $100. Those are under $100 and there's no way that inflation had any part in raising the price to $109.99. This thing should not be over $100. Fucking period. That is absolutely ridiculous to me, especially when the other figures and a lot of other figures that I'm not mentioning are priced under $100. Like, if you go to Big Bad Toy Store right now, I mean right now, for under $100, you can get the 2 singular point figures, the Jet Jaguar and the Rodan, for about $50 each, I believe. I think Jet Jaguar might be a little bit more. But Rodan, I know there might be it might be cheating because there's a little bit of a sale going on for Rodan. But basically, MSRP, he was like $60. And he was like a little half-size figure that came with smaller, tinier Rodan little figures. And this Odo Island is somehow $109.99. I haven't even got to the real kicker yet. I have not gone to the real kicker. I'm just kind of just ranting. And you know what? Some part of me is like, I don't have a place to rant. I don't really collect SH Monsterarts anymore. Sometimes they come out with a release where I'm like, I gotta have it. Like the Godzilla 1975 figure. I want it. I want their Burning Godzilla figure. Their anniversary one. But Hiya Toys is coming out with one for half the price. So, sometimes SH Monsterarts, they have releases where like I have to get it. Like I love their Monsterverse Mecha Godzilla. I love the other version of it too, even if I don't own it. You know, so I feel like I don't have a place in ranting about Monsterarts. I can actually make a rant video about Hiya Toys because I actually collect a lot of Hiya Toys figures versus Monsterarts. But it's just like, it's because I've had Monsterarts before, and I had a love for Monsterarts before, and like, you know, this is like a huge. These are two huge companies producing high quality Godzilla figures, and one of them is now pricing something that shouldn't be priced what it is. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous to me. And what's really crazy about this is that a lot of people are going to go and buy this fucking thing for full price. And like, and now that they see that they can do that, that they can take this half-size thing that's not worth $109 anywhere near, not even anywhere near $100. Now when they come out with more, they're going to keep increasing the price. And that's ridiculous to me. I don't like that. And like, this is generally coming from a place of love of all things Godzilla and action figures, you know, articulated or statues. Like, this does come from a place of love. I don't really have much of a hatred for SH Monsterarts. The reason why I don't collect them anymore is because I heavily criticize their Monsterverse line. Their Monsterverse line just isn't great. And as a Monsterverse fan, like, I want greatness, basically. And I think Hiya Toys delivers that. And, you know, there's a lot of practices with Monsterarts where the pricing is just ridiculous in a lot of these figures. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, they come out with bangers. Like, Hedorah is a banger. Gigan 1972 is a banger. I would say all of their Showa figures are absolute bangers. And when they did come out with Heisei figures and Millennium figures, I mean, those are kind of like sparse now. Those are great. It's just when it comes to the Monsterverse, they just lack heavily. So I shifted sites to Hiya Toys because right now I'd rather build my Monsterverse collection and then go back and get all the classic Toho stuff. Because I do love Toho Godzilla. So, you know, this does come from a place of love. So I'm in the comment section like, blah, 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 blah. Just know, like, I'm disappointed. I would love to have a -1 figure. And I just need to get a chance to get a -1 Godzilla from Monsterarts because I feel like their figures are just a tad bit overpriced. And now that they have this Odo Island one, I'm more discouraged from getting it because the price, it just isn't worth it to me. And on top of that, I don't have a -1 Godzilla for this thing to go with because I missed out on the other release. And the Spitfire one, or the Heat Ray version, whatever the hell they call it, the Atomic Breath version, was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, or New York Comic-Con, whatever the hell it was. It was some type of exclusive that wasn't available for pre-order, and if it was a short window, and it was probably overpriced once more. So that's just like my overall complaint with Monsterarts right now. And this this is like the final nail in the coffin. Like, $109.99 is actually kind of crazy, and this is going to fluctuate depending on where you get it. I mean, obviously it's going to be cheaper. Maybe MSRP is cheaper anywhere else you buy it, but also depending where you buy it, you know, shipping might balancing out to $110, and that's just MSRP. Like I said, MSRP is $110. So depending on where you get shipping from, if you go for Big Bad Toy Store, you know, the cheapest that you can do was like a $4 flat rate. Then there's like taxes and a fee on that. So you're probably looking at like $16 total in shipping. And it's $126, $127 figure now. Like, I think that's absolutely kind of insane for what this thing is. Like, it looks cool, don't get me wrong. Like, I think they nailed it, the sculpt and paint and stuff, but everything else, like, they couldn't throw anything else in there to kind of patent out that price tag. Like, nothing at all. Like, I think that's actually generally kind of crazy to me. And it's like, you know, when it comes to Hiya Toys, like, I'm probably going to be shifting gears to collecting all their Toho stuff at some point because it's half the price for all of it. Destroy is $116.99. So with shipping, if you get the cheapest shipping possible, you know, that might equate to $140 to $150 figure. But you know what? That is way cheaper than the Monsterarts, which is right now at MSRP was $249. So with taxes and, you know, shipping, that's almost a $300 figure. Just maybe short 30 $38, something like that. So, Hiya Toys is delivering what I believe is higher quality products for half the price. Now, when I say high quality, obviously Hiya Toys doesn't have everything. The one thing that Monsterarts does have is their articulation is unmatched so far. It's just absolutely unmatched. The amount of poses that you can get all your figures in with crazy articulation and engineering, it's actually nuts. Like, that's the one thing Monsterarts does have. So they make really cool ass action figures at the end of the day. For the most part, there are some duds out there when it comes to engineering department. And that's like another thing that kind of drives me crazy about them, is that sometimes like you're rolling the dice on whether you're going to get a good product into the day. The prototype looks great, but once you get this -1 in, or the Odo Island in, maybe the paint's sloppy, or maybe the joints are, the engineering isn't great, so this figure's falling apart or it's breaking easily. So it's like, Monsterarts' quality control is, it has always been kind of questionable, especially, with their eyes. We could never have, for the longest time, a Godzilla that has eyes looking the same direction. So you always get the goofy looking guy. And I still haven't got to the real kicker of this whole thing. This whole time, I have not gone into this. To the real kicker of this thing that really kind of kicked me in the stomach. If it wasn't the Destroya thing, the pricing of Destroya, because ultimately for Destroya, they pay the MSRP. Because even then, even if you can't afford shipping right away, Big Bad Toy Store has an awesome feature where you can just add it to your pile of loot and pay for shipping later when you can. So to reserve your copy of your figure once it's released, all you got to pay is, if you're gonna get the Odo Island for $110.99 or $109.99 versus Destroya that is $116.99, you could just pay the $6.99 difference. And if you don't have the $6.99 difference, then go mow a lawn for like an hour, or go DoorDash for like an hour, and then you got the money right there. And then just reserve your copy of the Hiya Toys Destroya. Now, obviously, that's a very specific scenario. If you really are somebody that's debating whether or not to get the Odo Island or the Hiya Toys Destroya figure, that's just an example that I'm giving you to kind of give you an idea of why this price range is kind of crazy. Because just pay an extra $6.99 and you have Destroya. Or if you just want to keep it Monsterarts, well, maybe you don't have the Burning Godzilla figure. And on Big Bad Toy Store, you can get the 70th anniversary celebration Burning Godzilla 1995 figure. And MSRP is $123. So just save your change, go DoorDash for like a couple hours, and then you can make the difference and just buy a better figure that's actually worth the price, arguably. And the real kicker of this whole thing is this figure, this Odo Island Godzilla figure that is priced at, I know I say it every time, I said it like 1,000 times in this video, but I need to get the point across, $109.99 for a figure that is nowhere near that price range at all. And there's several examples of why, because, I'm not going to get into the singular point figures, all the premium Bandai GXK figures that are under $100. This Odo Island figure for $109.99 is the same price as the newly announced SH Monsterarts Terror of Mechagodzilla Godzilla 1975 figure. That figure is priced exactly at $109.99 at Big Bad Toy Store. So why is this Odo Island figure priced the same way as a fully, it's a full figure to me? Because to me, this Odo Island Godzilla, it easily could have been an accessory. This easily could have been an accessory to a future -1 release that they normally do. Look at the Shin Godzilla pack. You got the two little second and third form coming back out with the first form coming out as a triple pack. Yes, releasing figures that are very small scale is nothing new for Monsterarts. You can go back and look at their Godzilla Jr. You can go back and look at their little Godzilla, the little Destroya crabs that they're coming out with and have came out with. you know, releasing small scale kaiju as figures is nothing new. But to me, it seems like they're priced fairly. Either you get one really good sized little Godzilla and you get really cool accessories, or you get multiple destroyer crabs, or you're getting multiple forms of Shin Godzilla in one package. This thing is just the Oto Island Godzilla, and with a stand. That's really it. And I think that's actually ridiculous. And what I think is actually more ridiculous is people are going to buy this thing. People are seriously going to buy this thing. And I think that, you know, people can do what they want with their money, but I think about this a lot, and people that complain a lot, they often don't speak with their wallets. Like, you know, I want to come out with a video talk about the Monsterverse in the same light, because there's a lot of people that just don't enjoy the Monsterverse, or they just haven't enjoyed the Monsterverse, and it's kind of like, you know, don't support it. Don't support it no more. Don't watch the movies. Don't buy the merchandise. Don't do it. And I wish people would kind of look at this figure and kind of be like, no, that's ridiculous. I'm not getting that. It's the same price as the 75 Godzilla figure. An actual full scale figure, a full release with probably arguably some really good engineering. I mean, we don't have the figure yet, but the dorsal fins sway back and forth just like in the movie. Like, that's really cool attention to detail. And somehow this Oto Island Godzilla is the same price, which I don't know where they come up with that. I think it's because it's -1, and they know that people love -1. It's an Oscar-winning film that made like over $100 million in the United States. So yeah, they're gonna charge a fuck ton for this, and I just wish people would kind of look at this and be like, no, I'm not paying for that. That's ridiculous. I would say, you know, 80 is a bit high, but that's almost fair. If you want to charge this for $80, and you know what, if it really makes that much of a difference, just don't have the stupid stand, because if this figure can just be on its own, I don't know why I need the stand. I guess maybe you want to get more of like a T-Rex pose, then sure, but so yeah, I'm gonna try to get this video out as soon as possible. This is probably gonna come out before This is going to come up before my Monarch Legacy of Monster videos, I think, because this kind of just flabbergasted me so much that I think this needs to come out as soon as possible. I might just throw some gameplay up and just do minimal editing, so that way you guys get this video, kind of get my thoughts out there on this thing, and then we can all move on, because, you know, I'm not getting this. I'm not getting this. I had no reason to get it before, because I don't have a -1 to go with it. And, like, I'd rather just wait for Hiya Toys to do -1 one day. If they already haven't, that I haven't seen. But I'd rather just wait for Hiya Toys at this point. And get something that's a bit more affordable, in my opinion. So, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And, that's it. And as always, stay awesome.
In my mind, worlds collide. Something inside me is gone. Still I keep going.